Hello, I'm Jerry Ford. I was going to tell you about one of my jobs that I had back in 1984. I think it was 1984. I worked for a restaurant. It was a pancake, breakfast type restaurant. I won't mention the name. If you're curious about the name, I can answer it in a private message or something, just in case. I want to try to be careful about that kind of stuff. But anyway, there's like, just in Tulsa alone, there's probably, I want to say five or six different different locations of this restaurant, and I started off as a busboy, cleaning tables, and I was the only one for this restaurant. It was pretty good size. At that time there was a smoking side and there was a non-smoking side, and during Monday through Friday, there would be, I think they had two busboys, one to work the smoking side and one to work the non-smoking. And then during the weekend, we'd have four busboys, two for each side because it was so busy. So yeah, I wore a brown smock, and it was like a vest, zipped up, had two pockets on the side. My pockets, I would use them for two ashtrays per side, because when I clean up table, I would put everything in the bus cart, and then if I'm working the smoking side, I would if the ashtrays had cigarettes in them, we instantly put them in the bus cart to be washed. So I whip out another one, just like that. And or if one didn't get put on a table and someone asked you for one, you have it right there. So yeah, I was pretty fast. I was a pretty fast table cleaner. I probably bust tables for probably a year. And at this restaurant is where I met my wife, actually. It was a blind date. That's another story. Anyway, later on, they wanted to know if I wanted to become a dish machine operator. And this restaurant had an actual machine, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, I usually worked Monday through Friday, and I'd work weekends. I don't know. No, I think I worked actually Tuesday. It might have been Tuesday through Friday. I'd have Mondays off, and I had to work the weekends. That's what would happen, because they need fast people to wash dishes, to keep up. I mean, I still have dreams about it to this day of how I had my table, my bus station all set up. I mean, my dish machine station all set up. How I had my plates and my silverware, my butter cups, and all that kind of stuff. And they would bring in bus carts, full, and I'd have to empty them things as quick as I could. And yeah, and then plus the cooks, they would say, we need platters, and I'd have to get them a stack of platters and go over and put them, some on each side of the cooking station. Side plates, they'd want round plates, and I had a system down. And for a little while, they were very demanding, and I can I guess they're kind of like, they might be panicking a little bit, and in a hurry. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with saying please after you called for plates. And because I'm just as busy as they are, you know. And I heard this one day, I heard platters, and it kind of sounded like he was getting mad. And I yelled back, please. And then there was a pause, and they said, please. And then I said, coming up. That was my thing. And then for the longest time, the cooks, you know, kind of spread the word. You need to say, a new guy said, we need platters. And then the dude that knew me says, oh, you need to say please. So, so I had that going, had that started. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being polite, you know. But when I get caught up, that's part of my routine. I got to stock that line. I got to get that. Got to get them the plates they need to put the food on the plates. So, yeah, I mean, I was also in charge of making biscuits. There was about, you know, 3 inches tall. I'd have to make 3 big cookie sheets of biscuits before I started my shift. And if I had time at the end of the day, they wanted me to put in a couple more sheets just so that they had them. After I did them, I had to let them set out, let them cool, and then I had to get these big white buckets, and I'd have to, you know, put them in the buckets, put a lid on it to keep them fresh. And apparently, I made the best ones. Even the general manager, he says, I got to let you know, Jerry, you make the best biscuits. I wish these other guys would pick it up, you know, how you do that. But they were buttermilk biscuits, so I take a half gallon of buttermilk, and I can't remember the poundage of the powdered buttermilk. No, the flour, biscuit mix. Mix those two together and mix them up with my hand. My hands are clean. Mix them up with my hand real good, and then plop it out on a big table. Flour the table first. Plop it out there. Knead it. You know, knead it real good. You know, roll it out a little bit. Fold it in. Knead it out some more. Spread it out real good. Put a little bit of flour on top of it, and then take the cookie cutter, biscuit cutter, and then get them all out, and then get them all punched out, and then take what I got punched out, put them on the cookie sheet, take what's left, knead it all together, roll it out, cut some more. I mean, you got to utilize every bit of that, you know. So, and I think he gave it like, I want to say maybe 13 minutes, something like that. I had it down to a science, but yeah. And then after my timer went off, then I would go get them out, take them back, and put them on this big table where set this so they can cool. Yeah, they made me what was called a skills trainer for a while. I got a little pin, keep on my uniform, and I was supposedly supposed to train every dish machine operator that they hired. And there was one day that, I mean, I got a raise for the new, you know, title too, but it wasn't huge, you know. But I had learned that they'd hired a nighttime guy, but he didn't go through me. I mean, I'd come in after he'd worked and things were all messed up, you know, and I'm like, who's this guy? I mean, I didn't train him. Oh, well, we didn't have time to let you train him, Jerry, so we just had to put him in there. And I'm like, okay. All right, so, you know, he doesn't know everything he needs to know. Oh, well. But is that it? It was I mean, I went from a dish machine operator to a prep cook. I mean, and not too long after that, I quit the company before I got to become an actual cook. And then some of the other locations I got transferred to help out, to work. And then for a while I went to work permanently at one of the other locations, and I was only there for, I wasn't even there for a year. Then I found a new job. So, but yeah, it was an interesting place. Like I said, I met my wife through there, met a lot of friends, and that phone means I'm going to have to stop. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.